Now that you have a better understanding of the legal system in Mexico versus the United States, let's take a look at a few laws that foreigners and or tourists might run into while in Mexico. The first law we should talk about is related to alcohol and drug use in Mexico because millions of foreigners travel to Mexico each year as tourists. Here are 5 laws that every driver should know to avoid jail time in Mexico. Number 1 is it's illegal to be intoxicated in public in Mexico. Now, I'm sure you probably assumed the opposite because the popularity of Mexico as a spring break destination. But you are not allowed to take a beer and walk down the street in Mexico. Getting Bourbon Street wasted in Mexico could absolutely land you in jail. The number 2 law that you need to know about if you plan to drive in Mexico is that DUI is a serious offense. Frequently, there are checkpoints set up on the road to administer breathalyzer tests. This happens every single weekend in most of the beach communities leaving Progreso, Telchac Puerta, Cisal, and I'm sure in other places around the country. It also happens in my neighborhood near the cervecerias and other places that serve cheap beer and food that are generally packed. It happens every single week. So breathalyzers are a very common fact of life here in Mexico. Hey, if you want to know about legal situations that you need to take care of before you move to Mexico, check out the Creating Your MexitPlans course. There's an entire section on legal things that you need to do before you actually leave the country that'll make your expat life that much easier. Check out the Creating Your MexitPlans course. I'll leave a link to it in the description below. Now, there's a couple things that you need to know about breathalyzers in Mexico. One is it's unlawful to refuse to take a breathalyzer test if you're at a checkpoint. That would lead to an immediate impounding of your car. And then number 2 is that the legal limit for a breathalyzer is 0.04 milligrams here in Mexico, or as opposed to 0.8 in most places in the United States. Let me say that again. The legal limit for a breathalyzer test is half of what it is in the United States. 1 beer per hour is enough to actually put you close or over the legal limit depending on your weight. Be careful if you're planning to drink and drive in Mexico. If you are over the legal limit for alcohol consumption, it's a mandatory up to 36 hours in jail. And if there's no one sober to drive your car with you at the time of arrest, your car will be impounded. The number 3 law that you need to know if you plan to drive in Mexico is if there is an accident as a result of intoxication from drugs or alcohol, the insurance company can deny coverage for that particular situation. So you will be stuck with paying for the damages out of pocket. And that generally means either coughing up pesos on the spot or have someone go get pesos for you and bring them back to the scene of the accident so that you can cover the damages. If you don't have the money, guess what? It's jail time. 4th thing that you should be aware of, speaking of insurance, it is required that all cars in Mexico have car insurance. Now, this comes up quite a bit in the expat forums where people ask, hey, I rented a car and it was $30 per day, but then we added the insurance, it ballooned to $80 per day. Do I need the Mexican insurance? The short answer is you can take the risk of using your credit card insurance or some other insurance that you might have, but it is required that you have insurance in Mexico. Now, if you are in an accident and you cause damage or you're in an accident in Mexico, the Mexican authorities aren't going to try to translate a credit card insurance policy from English into Spanish. And in some cases, your policy may not even cover you in Mexico. So it is best, and I always recommend that you buy the insurance from the rental car company. I even recommend that you get full coverage because if something happens, you need to be able to produce Mexican insurance. They do not recognize foreign insurance. And so the other option would be to simply pay for the issue with cash at the scene of the accident or go to jail. Number 5 of the things that you need to know if you plan to drive here in Mexico is if you're pulled over for a traffic violation, never pay the officers directly. Always request your ticket. I myself have fallen victim to this, and at the time I didn't know not to pay directly on the street. Well, I will tell you that now it is absolutely best to just request your ticket and go about your way. And here's the thing. If you pay your ticket within the first 15 days of receiving it, you get a discount. And the discount is probably gonna make the ticket far less than the bribe that they're gonna hit you up for. Also, if you wanna dispute the ticket, if you do so with your lawyer within 15 days, that's the window that you have to file a dispute. A friend of mine, Q Paul, has an excellent video on this situation, and he fully explains who can give you tickets. He fully explains what to do, and he tells you how he handled a particular situation. Check out the video over here, and I'll leave a link to the video in the description below. Let me know if you want to see a video of the legal rights for renters and labor laws, and if so, I'll make that video for you in the future. Until next time, MexitPlans Monty, I'm out.